Welcome to the Nature's Image Farm podcast. We're glad you're here. I'm Greg.
And I'm Susan. And together we're raising 7 kids on the farm and learning life lessons along the way.
So pull up a chair, rest your heels, and let's talk all things bees, homesteading, and the old-time ways.
Let's get after it.
Well, hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Nature's Image Farm podcast. We're glad to have you.
Yeah.
It's so good to see all the folks in the comments here that we see on a normal basis and kind of see on our YouTube channel. And I just want to quickly shout out some of the folks who kind of tune in all the time. We've got Jeremy Lindsay Homestead Farm. Jeremy, good to see you. We've got the Ian Stepler at the Canadian Beekeepers blog. Ian, good to see you. Looks like Sandy had some plans for drama time there for you, Ian. Lifetime TV network. You guys know about all those kind of things, don't you?
I don't know. We don't have cable.
Well, it's past Christmas time, so you don't have any of those like overly sappy Lifetime Christmas movie things.
I like the Hallmark movies, actually.
Hallmark. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got
When Calls the Heart.
Charlie Vance, West Virginia Hillbilly Honey. Charlie, I saw the message. I haven't taken the time yet to see it, but looking forward to seeing your brand new video. If you haven't already, be sure to go check out Charlie Vance, West Virginia Hillbilly Honey. He's got a brand new YouTube channel. Go check him out. Hit a like, comment, show him some love. That'd be awesome. We've got our friend Todd Prater at the Loma Vista Bee Company. Good to see you in here tonight.
It's a rainy day. Oh,
it's a rainy day. Yeah, but he's in California.
Oh,
so it's rainy and probably 70
I'm so
or 60.
Sorry to hear that. They've had really, so much rain.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well.
Well, tonight we are coming live from the stars. This is our first official broadcast coming to you from outer space.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. If you don't know what we're
talking, we're floating.
It's pretty cool because we have struggled with internet connection out here. We live way out here in the sticks, and we're lucky to have what we do.
Yep.
But it's extremely limiting, and a lot of times we wouldn't have service, or it's just if any kind of dirt work goes on the barely gravel road, it's always something. But we have one of those Starlink satellite connections now.
Yeah.
And on nights like tonight, when you can see the stars and it's clear, it's really good. So right now we're cruising around 20 megabytes or so, even with a little cloud cover.
So hopefully it doesn't look like there's a cow in front of the internet or anything.
There's hopefully no cow blocking the internet this time. So anyway, so we're looking forward to be able to bring more broadcasts and then kind of share more of this farm life with everybody. And if anyone who has a YouTube channel, or you guys know what it takes to kind of put these things together, these kind of formats are great because we can get content out there. We can reach you. We can have these conversations. And I really enjoy doing that, but has been really hard in the past to do that. So that's one kind of exciting thing to kind of come up for 2023 on the podcast and YouTube channels. We're going to be able to do more Q&As, more lives, that not just beekeeping related only. As our season kind of progresses, a lot of what we do on the farm, it seasonally changes.
Yeah.
And there's going to be all kind of fun stuff to kind of bring y'all along with. So that's pretty cool. Right now, fortunately, we sold the cows off, so there won't be any cow talk.
Well, it doesn't mean we can't talk cows and experiences. I have seen actually 2 different homesteaders that have lost their cows this season, which is so sad. And we did experience that. So we can speak to experiences, but we just can't speak to current cow ownership.
This is the time the winters are getting so terrible in this part of the country it's so warm, it's so cold, the constant and quick up and down, you're asking for pneumonia, it seems like, for anything on hoof. And so of course, maybe we'll talk about that. That'd be a great episode in the future, is dealing with that kind of loss, how you move in, how you cope. And that's a whole, there's a lot of funny bright side to it all, but it can be really hard when you lose your family house you milk and you love and you spend so much time with.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's heartbreaking for anybody. And aside from the heartbreak, it's expensive.
Yeah.
The expense that you bear from buying the cow, owning the cow, and then having to bury the cow that's heartbreaking on your wallet too.
So. Yeah, it seems like there's nothing inexpensive about homesteading. It's a quality of life that we choose, and while there's things that we can do to save money and live frugally, a lot of these things, when you're starting from scratch or starting from point zero, are expensive, and you end up learning the lessons, and they cost you one way or the other.
Beekeeping is the same. I mean, people will say, "Oh, it's so expensive. I'm just going to give up because I lost my bees."
Yeah, beekeeping is definitely can be a challenge, especially when you get started trying to figure out how to keep them alive. More importantly, try to figure out how are we killing them, and then stop to try to get past that and move on and to kind of grow things and get them into not only physically sustainable situation, but that dirty word that no one really wants to talk about, but getting into a financially sustainable situation. I would argue respectfully with anybody that while it is important to be environmentally sustainable and physically sustainable, we live in a capitalistic environment, and we 100% have to be financially sustainable with these enterprises, or we can't continue to do any of the work. We can't continue to do better. We can't continue to raise better bees or better cows or better tomatoes. The system has to be financially sustainable.
Well, and it's all, I mean, everybody has hobbies, and it's so super important to have those hobbies. And if you have it only as a hobby, that's absolutely fine.
Right.
But if you are doing it as a sideliner, then, looking at it as a business and making those important choices in your business is good. It's good to look at it that way.
Yeah, it's one of those things we're going to definitely talk more in detail, not only about the financial and physical and environmental sustainability aspects, but there's a lot that goes on to keep the family structure intact and sustainable while we figure all these things out.
Yeah.
We're just getting back and catching our breath from the Hive Life conference.
We might still have dirty clothes.
We have dirty clothes. I'm still, it really threw me off. Sleep patterns and just tiredness, and just it really threw me off.
You had very long days.
Yeah, they were long and demanding. I know we'll talk about that a little bit. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to is digging deep actually into some of these topics with guys like Ian Stepler, where we kind of go into detail. Is there a balance? If there's a balance, how do we find it? If there's not a balance, what do we do to keep everything intact and moving forward?
I have to say that I'm jealous a little bit. I got to talk to some amazing people, super amazing people. But the only problem with talking to people and behind a register is they feel as though they are holding me up. And so I didn't even know that you interviewed some of these people. I didn't get to meet Ian at all. So Ian, if you're watching, I would love for you to get with Greg, and maybe we can all of us three sit down, even your wife, and sit down.
That's who you want to talk to. Ian and Sandy both came from
I
want
to talk to both of you, and we have you guys on the show and talk, and other people. I don't even have all the footage. Haven't even seen everything as to who you all talk to, but I would love to have them back on the show and talk a little bit more in depth about what they do and how they incorporate that into their family structure. Because of course, I'm the mom family, so it's a little different for me than it is for Greg.
Well, that's what's interesting, and I think what is such an enormous blessing to be able to form these kind of relationships with folks, but to have these kind of conversations. There are just a slew of very awesome, positive, informative, educational outlets to learn how to make a split. to learn how to make a queen, to how to raise a better crop of honey and do all these things. And those are fantastic. And it takes this kind of diversity, I think, to paint this kind of a picture. Where my mind goes and where my heart goes is I want to dig in and learn how are these things working as a system, the systems thinking approach, which does include the financial aspect of it, the family aspect of it. How do we balance all these things together? How do we move these things forward? Some folks are born into a family and it's just they're born into the system. Folks like you and I and a lot of homesteaders, we had to actually detach ourselves away from the modern system to start to put this new system in place, to start raising our family different and to set that tone. And what's beautiful about that is now we've had kids born here on the farm, right here on the farm, home birth, that were born into the system. If we've done anything right, I think in my mind is we are giving our children the opportunity to be raised in this system and have this as 0.0 reference, rather than the burden on what it took to put it back together. There's a lot more to talk about, all of that, and we will definitely get there this year. Tonight, we are celebrating our 100th video.
Where's the thing? Do the yay. No, wrong way. There you go. Yay!
Good job.
He had all the
good job. Have all these funny buttons.
I said the thing, and he knows what I mean because he knows
I'm just hoping that this signal is actually broadcasting, because as I look here, the little Wi-Fi thing keeps disappearing. So hopefully it's actually going out there live.
Is anybody still
if anyone can if anyone can see us live and we're still going, shoot me a text or a message or leave a comment here, because for right now I'm not seeing anything and I don't know. I think it's recording into the system. I think we might have lost our internet connection. So
okay, well, we'll just keep going.
We'll just keep rolling. And if we lost you guys, we're looking forward to having the playback.
We will post it. Promise. Post it, promise.
So we're celebrating the 100th video.
Yeah.
Now that's a big deal. High five.
Did you get it? Yep.
Here, one more time. Oh, yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
Why is that such a big deal? Well, it is, let's see.
Super big deal.
Charlie Vance, I see you. Great. Okay, someone says you're live. Excellent.
Okay.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. It's cool to have folks that are in our corner and batting for us and can give us some feedback there.
Give you a heads up.
What, if you're on YouTube, if you have a YouTube channel, 100 videos might not be a big deal to you.
It is for us because, listen, if I can do anything more than once, I'm winning. If I can do it twice, it's even better. Like the only thing I've stuck to is marriage and kids.
That's true. We're going on 23 years. So somehow I haven't ran you off. So that's good. Why is 100 videos special? Well, what a lot of folks don't know about our YouTube channel is we actually have had this YouTube channel for 7 years.
What?
7 years. When you look at a lot of folks, their YouTube channels
are almost 8.
Right.
So as long as they've kind of been,
Right. And we were actually putting videos out even before then on a different channel back when I was in the band and things like that. But what's so interesting is we've been doing this for 7 years.
Yeah.
And what I want folks to the takeaway for this is just because you're putting videos of yourself or your content out there and you don't feel like it's hitting, you don't feel like folks are watching, you don't feel like it's making a difference, you have to really understand why it is that you're putting those videos out. If you're just doing it to try to create revenue or to get the likes or the comments, well, then you might need to reframe the context that you're working within.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, our heart was in just sharing our experience. And for a little while there, we kind of got into a little bit of trouble with the type of videos that we were putting out because we were sharing a little bit, maybe too much from the homestead. Years ago, we ran into a lot of issues. If there was blood involved, it was like our channel got ghosted. And
unfortunately, we eat meat, and so we are butchering on the homestead.
We probably don't have to explain to this crowd the intimacy and the nuance of raising your own meat, raising animal husbandry, and then having the honor of taking that animal's life in your own hand to turn that into protein, to put that into the freezer, is one of the greatest blessings I think man has on earth as a steward of this land. But long story short, we
YouTube world didn't like that.
YouTube world didn't like that. We absolutely got ate up alive.
Yeah.
And so we've tried to reframe our approach on that, and the beekeeping things just started to catch more traction. Yeah, because somehow, possibly being stung by thousands and thousands of critters that can kill you is safe, but it's harder for PETA, I think, to sharpen an axe at you when it comes to beekeeping than it is when you're butchering animals. And we weren't showing or being disrespectful.
No.
We didn't do it in any kind of out of sorts way. It was we did everything with respect and reverence, but still it was an issue. So we've been at this for 7 years. I think some of our earliest videos are loading pigs, feeding pigs, maybe smoking hams in our smoker out back here. But it's been 7 years in the making, and we're just now at 100 videos. I think there's a big takeaway there.
What's your takeaway?
Well, I think the same could be said not only for a YouTube channel, but if you're starting a bee yard or a bee business or any business, it's kind of cliche to say, but slow and steady wins the race. It's one thing if we want to have immediate or instant success. And it's another thing to slowly go towards that. I think when I want to believe that I'm saying this because this has been my experience, but I don't know that how we would have handled, if we would have went from 1 subscriber to we're almost at 6,000 subscribers overnight. I don't know that we would have had the fundamentals, the methods, or the talents to necessarily harness that to keep making a positive impact in the community. But slowly getting here, we've developed a style, we've developed how we share this information, and the community has kind of been built around that. So I think slow and steady, digging in, knowing that, hey, we don't have to have a viral video. We don't have to have videos that are just hitting on all cylinders. What's most important is that we share what it is that we're doing with our folks here, with this community. And that's the message. When something's put on our heart to do it, we just do it. We put it out there. One thing that we don't do is when we put videos out, I'm trying to get better about following up with the comments and interacting that way. But it's almost like when something's put on our heart, we put that message out, and then we're back to work, and then capturing the next thing. We're not really focused or looking at the analytics or trying to track or trying to do all these things. I'm not saying, and if you do, that's bad, but what is on our heart is to put the message out there and then get right back to work, get back in the mud and the guts and the blood, and just get moving forward again. What about you? What's been your takeaway on this 7-year process to get to 100 videos?
Well, I kind of look at it the way we've done life, and we didn't acquire anything quickly.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like we have been so busy living life that recording it came second. And so although we have tons of memories, and if we went back and showed you guys the pictures and videos that we've taken, just never released, never published, never edited, there would be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. But what we did is we invested in the people that were right here in this home in those 7 years. So the 100 that you've are the ones that either meant the most to us, meant the most in that time period, in that time frame, or that we had the time to share. And so even though we didn't take the time to share every moment in our life with YouTube, doesn't mean we weren't living those moments. We were enjoying them with our children, building our community.
Right.
The time we spend with our children is tons. And the time that we invest in our actual community here locally is a lot. And where we were hosting tons of hours of hosting people and building a local community, we didn't record. We recorded it. We took pictures. We did all those things, but we didn't post those things. And I think it doesn't lessen the importance because we didn't post it. I just think it allowed us to enjoy those moments. And in either way, we also were raising 7 children, 2 of which were born at the same time. So, raising twins.
Wait, how many kids?
Oh, I hope they can actually hear that instead of just us. That was funny. Yeah, 7 children. The last 2 are twins, and that was a handful. And I already had 5. So 5, and then to add twins to the mix was life altering.
You might say the twins was the buy one get one free.
I always say they're a BOGO. I said, "Oh, we'll just try for one more," and God laughed and said, "Oh, is that what you thought?
Here's one extra.
Buy one get one free."
Those are good points, because when you're busy in the season doing the work, you don't necessarily have the time to even capture the content, let alone edit the content. We tried to capture those moments along the way, but a lot of it was just so covered in it that that's all we could do.
Well, it was just literally, go out, do the chores, keep the kids alive, homeschool, homestead, rinse, repeat. We literally had time to eat and sleep, and that was it. And when you're living life in survival mode, that's what you do. You just do the things you need to do to be able to get up and the next day and do the same thing. So yes, as we were living in survival mode, we were doing all those things. We were living that. We were doing the work. We just didn't have time to actually post the work, because it's only Greg and I doing those things, doing the work. Now that our children are growing, they're doing a lot of the things we were doing those first 7 years. And they're able to pitch in and help more as they grow, which is an amazing thing. And so I see where we've taken the time to train and raise helpers, and I'm seeing the fruit of that, investment in the time we took to do those things.
Putting work into your kids, putting work into the community, I think is one of those things that it goes without being said, but that takes precedence.
Oh yeah.
Over capturing or editing or putting videos out. So it's not that I'm disappointed in any of that. I am just thankful that we were able to somehow balance a large family, the farm, the business, the community, all those aspects that we have that make up the fullness of our life. That we were able to put out this many videos is amazing, and they range everything from I'm not sure how much the butchering stuff is still on there, but it ranges everything from how to load a trailer full of hogs easily without doing a single thing, let them do all the work, so that when you take them for their one bad day, there's no stress on the animal.
Yeah.
From that all the way to wax dipping boxes. I mean, the list, it's just so many. We've got some new videos getting ready to come out. One of the cool things about the Hive Life conference is that we sat down, met so many at the podcast booth, and recorded these interviews. It's so cool. What we have put together for everybody is the Hive Life interview series here at Nature's Image Farm. We're looking forward to putting all these videos out. There's at least a dozen super awesome interviews from all the folks that you've heard that you love, and some new names that you maybe don't even know yet. And these interviews are global, from all across not only the United States and Canada, but even Sweden. We were able to sit down with Yasmin and get to talk with her. And that was one of my favorite conversations because it goes back to some of our earlier, some of the earlier tenets of the homestead that were revolved and based around permaculture. And she was just telling me and talking to me about her food forest and the animals and all the systems and beekeeping. And it was an awesome conversation. I'm looking forward to getting that one out too. But so keep an eye out for the Hive Life interview series with incredible guests, guys and ladies that you guys know. Ian Stepler, we've got Gus Mitchell on there. We've even got Greg Rogers, which is a fantastic interview. There was a lot to learn from Greg Rogers. We've got Mike Berry. We had Steve Jimenez from Hives for Heroes stop in. Fred Dunn.
Yappy in his cup.
Yappy and his missing tumbler. It was just so incredible.
What's the guy Burns? David Burns.
David Burns stopped in. Of course, we had the stream team, a part of a lot of those. So that's going to be a fun way to share um, what I really love about these conversations is they're not just beekeeping related. It's life related. It's how do we balance bees and the business and life and family? How do we make these things work? What were some hard lessons learned?
Yeah.
So we dig deep. That's where my mind and heart is digging deep, not into the technical aspects of beekeeping, but into the technical aspects of the heart and the mind of the beekeeper.
Yeah.
Because I think that's an incredible reflection of our beekeeping when you better understand the beekeeper. And a lot of us, I think, are drawn to beekeeping because we're learning both. We're learning more about ourselves.
Yeah.
We're also learning about the bees. And so I'm really looking forward to that. We also have a brand new kind of interview spinoff series by our daughter, Izzy.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm so excited for her. I think she kind of found her voice there. She had not even planned on doing anything other than helping me with the booth. And she said, Daddy, I think I want to do some interviews. And so Greg said, well, heck yeah, of course you can.
Of course, let's do it.
And let's see, where it goes from there. If you don't like it or you decide, no, that wasn't for me, it's no big deal. It's just a little phone space, So she just took off and ran with it, and she's been posting it. Now, where is she posting it again?
Okay, so there Izzy interviews, and she so far has got Steve Jimenez. She just released the one with Bob Benny. She has so many exciting names. She even has one interview that would be the very first that has never even been put out there. But she's putting that on our Nature's Image Farm TikTok channel, and she's also putting it on our Instagram channel at Nature's Image Farm. And then she's going to be releasing them as shorts on our YouTube channel. So no matter what the social platform is, she's putting that information out there. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see how she edits it, the storyline that she kind of shares. But I'm so proud of her for her saying, I think I want to do this. And then we just give her the opportunity, and she just goes out there and I thought she did a fantastic job kind of doing those things. So
I think
that's pretty cool.
I think it's great. I love that our kids have that entrepreneur spirit. They take after their dad. And so I think that was great that she actually said, Dad, I want to try this. And she, because it can be nerve wracking. I can't even imagine going up, and I'm an adult, going up to adults and asking them for an interview. And she did. And she did a great job. So I'm excited to see those as they come out. You both were kind of just running all over and doing all these things. And I was, staying afloat behind the counter. So I'm glad that I'm glad everybody else got to. I missed so much of Hive Life because I didn't leave the booth, but you just have to watch along with you guys. I got to
brag on you a little bit because I can remember just being in the thick of it. And it was all that I could do to be present and available and there for every single person who wanted to take time out to come see us and say hi, and just to talk with us and visit. I wanted to give them my absolute all and best, every single person.
Yeah.
And then I remembered, oh man, we actually have a booth. We're trying to sell some things. And I would look over and see you and Izzy or Jake or whoever was helping out totally had it taken care of. And you were visiting and meeting with your own set of people. And I was so proud of you because I just remember thinking, man, she is so awesome that you can do so many things, not only at once, but just do each individual thing so well. That's really important, not only as a bee yard, as a business or a marriage, but you got to be able to work together as a team. You have, even when, what I loved about it is just like a lot of things in our life, we both have strengths and weaknesses that I think complement each other. Knowing that you're over there just handling business, getting it done, smiling, shaking hands, meeting with folks, talking with them, enjoying those visits and running the register, it was a huge relief for me to know that, okay, we're squared away. They've got that totally good to go. I'll stay here in my lane and we'll do this. She'll do that. And then together we're able to accomplish such a huge task that a lot of folks, we're not looking for a pat on the back at all. But it's such an enormous doing to be able to present a booth at Hive Life like that, especially when we're such a small business and large family. We have literally put everything on the line, physically, financially, everything that it took to get us in Nature's Image Farm to Sevierville, Tennessee for the Hive Life Conference to try to support the community, give them some great buys on some great products, be there to meet with folks and to have that entire experience. It takes a lot to do that. And there's no way in the world that we could have done that if we didn't have you run the booth. So I'm going to thank you for all that too.
Oh, well, thank you. I obviously can't do it without you, but I think we appreciate each other's hard work that and effort that we put into everything. And I know that he's good at what he does and he knows I'm good at what I do. And when we need help, we speak up and say, "Hey, can I get you over here for a second, please?" So you'd say that, or I'd toss you a peanut butter and honey over the boxes and frames and or get you a water, and he would do the same for me. So, and we had friends and Izzy's to get us Starbucks occasionally. That was wonderful. So caffeine and pure energy and enthusiasm. We ran on a lot of enthusiasm.
We were, it's like that. Let's see, what is that song? Who sings that song? Alan Jackson, Living on Love.
Living on love.
Yeah, don't make me sing it. We were Hive Life, and we were living the Hive life on love. That's
very little sleep.
Yeah.
And sometimes some food.
Yeah, but of course, you know,
caffeine.
we would totally do that again, and we'll do it again over and over again. So that's was cool for us to do. I got to thank Bee Apothecary was a booth just across the way. My voice was going out almost immediately.
Yes. Oh yeah. Did I bring that over here?
I think you got a bunch of stuff right there. Yeah.
No, well, I got their pamphlet, but the rest of the stuff is in the kitchen where I've been letting you use it.
So we went over and talking with Lori and her husband, and they gave us some propolis spray and propolis oil, and it really helped get my throat squared back away so I could keep talking and keep going. And then of course I said, "Hey, you got to go over and check it out." Then you bought a bunch of stuff and brought it back. So
I did. I appreciated. Cool. She's so knowledgeable, and she was able to help me figure out what would be the best for you as far as what you may like versus what you don't, because they have such a wide variety: propolis oil, tinctures, gluten-free tinctures, even, which is amazing for a lot of people that struggle with gluten allergies. So if you still want to be able to do tinctures and need those, then you can do it with the gluten-free tinctures. And throat sprays and nasal sprays and all kinds of, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful artwork, beautiful booth. Bee Apothecary out of our local Ohio, Lancaster, Ohio is where they're out of. But then they are, I love this, is our desire to share the amazement of God's design in the honeybee. Beautiful artwork. Great job. Loved meeting her.
And so thanks for my pipes, my vocal cords, throat, whatever that was. We thank you.
Yeah.
I was losing it and going hoarse.
Between you and Cayman, they both said that they were losing their voices.
Well, I tell you, one of the coolest things about the Hive Life Conference is the people.
Oh yeah.
I think it's time for some honey shout outs. While we didn't have honey to trade,
we did. We had a little bit.
You had to sweet talk this one here to get it. But a lot of folks
sweet talked me nicely.
A lot of folks just wanted to come gift us some honey and some other cool things. So we want to take just a couple minutes to say thanks for all the folks who brought us honey, and we're going to go ahead and showcase you right here on the show. So we've got a whole stack of honey. It's going to be cool because you're going to be able to see different types of honey and containers and all those kind of things. So let's get going.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do, this one's beautiful. So we've got, are you saying them or you want me to hand them to you?
Oh, we can go a little each. We have Furry Woods Honey Farm. Isn't that a cute little jar? And it even came with a little
and
honey
let's hope
dipper.
all these are correctly, because I had to very carefully put these into buckets to travel, because we had to go home to Ohio from Tennessee in a big truck. And so hopefully that thing came with that, because I don't know for sure. Because a lot of these were given to you and not me. And a lot of people just came up and put them on the top there. And even the kids were saying, well, if you want to, be showcased.
So we've got from the Grillmeister Apiary, whipped Chesapeake honey.
And Grillmaster.
And Low Country Gold. Look at that.
Those look awesome.
That looks like a barbecue sauce, maybe.
Man almighty.
That's pretty.
Between
I like those,
Greg and Nathan, our oldest
jars.
Nathan likes to grill stuff, so he might use that too. Get a little taste.
Now this one's cool. This is looks like Apin Bees, North Carolina purple honey. And I remember this fella come up and show me this. The honey is actually. You probably
can I smell it?
Yeah, taste it.
I want to see.
It's actually nearly purple in color.
Ooh, I love purple's actually my favorite color. So there's that.
It's super good, isn't it?
Did you try that?
It's so good. It's unique.
Wow. Ooh, that tastes so good. Good job. Okay, this one has Proverbs 16:24 on it.
Nice.
Ooh, Sweet Harlan Honeybee.
Oh, that's old Jamie Wynn, who was just on the stream team. They won the Wax Block Blue Ribbon.
Ooh.
So thanks for that.
Beautiful. All right, this one has my name on it because he gave it to me.
That's old Randy Southard at the Tar Heel Beekeeper, Candler, North Carolina. Isn't that nice? Look at that.
Look at that, honey.
That's cool. Yeah, but notice,
it's pretty.
Randy knows me. And if he wants something to get to Susan, he's got to put her name on it.
He handed it to me, so it had my name on it. Thank you very much.
That's cool.
Staying with me.
That's a pretty jar.
Oh, that is beautiful. But okay, I want to know who says Muth and who says
Muth.
Muth
or Muth?
I don't know.
Muth? I called it Muth.
Me and Bruce were talking about that because he brought Muth jars. Muth. This
is from Sadie B's, Tennessee Local Wildflower, Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that pretty?
Oh, that's beautiful.
I like that.
Those Muth jars are just, those are beautiful jars.
Yeah.
Because I have one just on display because I love jars. Okay, this
one just says Honey Thornberry Drive, Harleysville, Pennsylvania, and Tasker. I like that small little Queen Line bottle
cute.
With the wide top. I like that.
That was the same. And then
this must be from this just must be Greg's divvy.
I put Susan's yep. Mm-hmm. All right.
Oh, this is from old
I like
Joey.
that downward squeeze bottle.
It's like Joey Rawls
Apiary. I saw his name.
Yeah, Franklinton, Louisiana.
Ooh, Louisiana. That came far.
But that one.
Bear's Den Honey.
Bear's Den Honey. Leeds in Moody, Alabama.
Oh.
Isn't that cool? I like that wide squirty squeeze top.
And look at that's a pretty color too.
Mm-hmm. It is pretty.
Okay, this one is from, now he didn't have a label or anything on it because he gave it to me. And so I put his name on it because I said, I'm not going to remember this. So I got to write your name on it. Yeah.
So what's mine is yours and what's yours is yours.
No. What's mine is mine and what's yours is mine.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're going to share?
No. No, this one is actually very dark.
The next one over there too in the black lids.
Look. Smell it.
Yeah.
It smells like
it smells like sorghum.
Or molasses.
I bet it's buckwheat honey. Look at that.
All I know is that
that's good.
It's my handwriting, so it's mine now.
That's nice.
Oh, and this.
And that's from Joel Newland too.
Okay,
well, like creamed honey.
And no. You're gonna know. Oh, smell it.
It smells like maple creamed honey.
Maple creamed honey.
Oh man, I gotta give you a little piece of that.
I'm just gonna do a little bit.
Sorry.
A little bit. Sorry.
If food eating videos aren't your thing, sorry.
Should we do freeze dried food eating videos?
Oh man, Joe, that is super good. Got just a little hint of maple in there, just right.
So good.
That'd be good on a peanut butter sandwich.
It would be, wouldn't it? I'm gonna totally mess up that pfefferness.
So this one's pretty cool. It's a
I just did an Ace Ventura thing.
Pfefferness.
Pfefferness.
Pfefferness, which is I guess it's the German or Swedish
German cookie thingy.
Yeah, you know those. My grandma used to make these anise pitzel cookies with that anise, like
Yeah,
the
but
black
these are
licorice
like
flavors.
you do it like a roll out bread dough, and then
Right.
you cut it real small.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
the flavors.
creamed honey.
Is it probably
Flavor of the
probably
creamed honey.
smells.
It does smell like anise. Good luck with that.
I got the lid stuck on there. There it goes.
I don't think anybody asked you to smell it though.
Ooh. Well, it got a little. It's a little cold. I'll have to scoop that one out when I get some
sweet heat
utensils.
That one will be for the kids.
That was from Bee Bum.
Oh,
Adams,
Bee Bum.
Nebraska.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yep. We got distracted.
Sweet heat raw honey infused with hot peppers. Creektown Bee Farm.
That's cool. So cool. And this one's a cute little spoon. That's cute.
That's cool. That's from Thomas and Lula DeGan.
Oh, they're so sweet.
It was so busy. We didn't get a chance to.
I did. I got to hang out with them a little bit. Yeah, when we slowed down. I think it was either when people were eating. It was like we got a little slow lull where you could catch your breath. And that's when they'd come visit me.
We were trying to find time and go have a bite to eat with them. And just one thing just got crazy after another. And I don't even know what happened as far as I don't even know how we got through that whole
I'm not
border.
sure you remember even eating.
I don't remember much yet. This one, get your hands off of that one, Miss. Miss Ruth Rourke gave that to me. I'll share a little bit, but that is whipped honey butter.
Whatevs, I'll take it.
And that is so good. Thanks, Ruth. That is awesome.
She's so sweet. She took a picture with me.
She's definitely Ricky's better half.
Yes. Although he's nice too.
He's nice.
Yeah, but I like her.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's sweet. And she took a picture with me. Ricky didn't, so there's that. Got to remember the wives, guys.
This is old the Beehive Homestead, Jared, I believe. It's pretty cool. Thanks for that.
That's so cute. That's such a cute jar.
I like that jar.
So those are things you want to look at and go, that would be a great gift jar.
That would be.
You know, put it in a gift basket with a couple other things, and it is just the cutest thing ever. Yeah. And these honey squeeze bears too.
Right. This is Nielsen Honey Farm. Yeah, they're great. They're out in Texas. We actually met them first at the Nebraska The Hives for Heroes conference.
Well, you did. I didn't go to that. We have children to stay alive, keep alive.
Now this one's really cool. This looks like it's a bottle of wine, and I thought, whoa, who's this dude
Bruce
flexing?
Said, I don't really drink, so I'm not sure if that's for me.
No, and it's honey. This is from Paul Hale over at Hale Hives. Isn't that pretty cool? It's got some really fancy. I don't even know how to say that. Miel Doré.
I don't know. We
don't Louisiana.
Fancy stuff like that, but good thing it's honey.
There it is, ripened, extracted, and bottled at Hale Hives, Apiaries, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Non-alcoholic. That was a nice touch. Isn't that cool? So Hale Hives, thank you for that.
I don't know who gave this to us, but they're delicious.
And if you're checking out this live stream later and you say, oh shoot, I didn't even know they have a live stream on Sunday nights. It was just something that we were putting together. So we appreciate everyone who's joining on no notice. Nice to see you on here. We also have, I didn't get a chance to spend any time with them, but old Hillbilly Earl stopped by and gave us a mystery pack of some kind of candy, it looks like. And he brought us some Apis samples to try. And he's got a nice letter in there. I think these are like a peppermint pest sticks that you slide in the entrance of your
so you don't eat
your
them.
Colonies.
Boy,
no, it's not candy for you.
Oh, I was gonna say, did you tell us?
No.
Oh, it is peppermint.
Peppermint. Thanks, Earl, for taking the time to put us some goodies together. Earl's got us some destructions on what that's about. But it looks like these are Hillbilly Earl's homemade peppermint treatment.
Oh,
so
okay, awesome.
So thanks for that, Earl. We'll give that a shot. I felt bad because I didn't get a chance to spend any time.
There was so many people that came and
there were so many folks
watched
that came through
and saw that you literally didn't have a time to breathe, and so we'll have to apologize for not having more than the hours in the day that were left at the conference. But
we needed more time, but I don't know that I could physically held up for any more time.
No.
But so Earl, thanks for that. And for everyone we didn't get to spend as much time with, we're sorry about that.
We do appreciate you.
Yeah, but maybe we'll catch you next time. Butler's milk chocolate flake truffles.
Listen, I
can't remember who
I don't know, but I appreciate it because Izzy and I were enjoying some chocolate.
They are so good. Oh man. So thanks for that.
Okay.
Boy, so I got a stack here. It's getting ready. If you guys hear a loud crash.
Yeah, don't do that. So this gentleman posted about his help me out. The hive tool that his
the forge guy.
Yes. And I went over, got Jake one because he's interested in that. And he gave me these free seeds.
Kunzer Honey Farm?
Yep. He posted on the Hive Life page. And then he was giving out free seeds while they lasted. And I got leather butter for the gloves to recondition them this winter.
Nice.
For the summer. Because mine are all propolised up and, pretty stiff. And so they have to get,
Eventually you might need more than sweat and bee stings to condition your leather.
Yeah. So anyway, I appreciated that he had
Honey
that.
Farm. So Mr. Kunzer, thank you.
That was one of the only booths I got to go see. So
I didn't get to see very many either.
I know. And one lovely gentleman,
Jason Smith over at Hickory Hives.
From Hickory Hives, gave us a bunch of these seeds. And one is for a giant pumpkin. And one pack, there's several packs of each, is for the loofah gourd.
Cool.
And I am excited to try these. I've tried to grow loofah in the past, but I have a better patch to put it in this year. And if Greg actually clears some more trees, I'll even have a better loofah patch. So no, not so much. Okay. I might have to get the chainsaw myself. We'll see how that
Jason
goes.
Smith's over in Pennsylvania, Hickory Hives. I got to meet him earlier in the year. He stopped down to Jason Crook's BBQ down in Warwick, Maryland. So I got to meet him and a bunch of other folks there for the first time. So Jason, thanks for giving us those seeds. We'll put them to good use.
And this couple was not at the conference, but we just appreciate all of our community.
We do. There are so many folks that we'd like to thank. When we had that storm come through and just wiped out a bunch of colonies, it's when those things happen, you're trying to process like what sometimes you even are guilty of saying, why me? Why this? Why here? And you have to go through a mental process. You have to work through, and you got to dig in. You just got to start picking up those pieces like you've seen in that video that we did. But we've got a local family here who they sent you a little card.
Yeah. And so if you can see that, it says she handed the bee the lighthouse, put the bees and the lighthouse, and she wrote us a note and she put 2 bookmarks in there for me. And we just adore this family. And
you want to read it?
No, because it's a personal note to me. So I don't want to read it, but I do want to thank them.
Susan, Greg is so awesome.
I don't think that's what Melinda said, but
no. I think what's important to read is this scripture here.
Okay. So, I'll let you read it because you're a better reader than me.
Okay.
I get a little cracky. I do read alouds with my children, but they appreciate the way I read.
So this is in reference to the whole lighthouse hive, the storm that came through, and that situation that we found ourselves in. But it says, and not only this, but we celebrate in our tribulations, knowing that tribulation brings about perseverance, and perseverance, proven character, and proven character, hope. And hope does not disappoint, because the love of God has been poured out within our hearts through the Holy Spirit who was given to us. Romans 5:3-5. And there's some personal notes in there, but it means a lot when folks will take the time to not only write you a note or to say, hey, we're thinking of you, but to have folks with such good hearts out there doing good work kind of just reach out like that really meant a lot to us. So
yeah, so they're amazing.
So
and
Melinda
I just had
and
to
Scott
say,
Bourne,
yeah.
thank you.
And so hopefully she gets to feeling better and can come to some of the learning yards this summer.
Yeah.
And we can chat and hang out and fellowship together. So I thank you so much. And we just appreciate everybody that comes into our life. And sometimes we don't get to say it live, but I do get to today.
Thank you for all the thoughts, all the notes, all the honey. All of today's honey and today's honey shout outs are going to go on display at the shop. We're actually going to have to build a new display wall.
Isn't that fun?
At this point,
so
I don't know how
excited.
many. We're well over probably 100 different jars from folks from all across the country.
Yeah.
So as we get this new shop kind of put together, we're going to get that on. So I want to thank you guys for stopping by the booth, dropping off some honey and some gifts. It means so much to us that you would think so much of us to do that. It really does mean a lot. I also want to thank our members. We have a membership only section of the YouTube channel that we're looking forward to getting more members only content out, some discounts on bee products, some exclusive Q&As that are private for those folks too. I want to take a second and go ahead and thank
You
Joe.
want to use my glasses?
I'm going to have to use your glasses there. But Mr. Joe Newland, Joe also gave us some honey that he stopped off there. It was great.
Me some honey.
We have Lisa Gowan at the Grammy Midwife Suburban Homestead. They're on YouTube. Our friend B Original Tennessee Tim, Checkers, Darren Cap, Ed over at Son of One, our pal Phil at Cedar Ridge Bees, Droning Outdoors, Scott's Bees, Phil over at 33 Mile Bees, and our buddy Brian at Castle Hives. Thank you guys.
You're awesome.
While that $5 a month, we're going to try to do better and get a lot more of that content out for you guys. But I just want you to know how much even that $5 a month put together, how much that helps us just to keep doing all the things that we're trying to do here. It helps us be that lighthouse to help somebody else, to put the message out. It means a lot. So I want to thank you guys for that too. So here we are 7 years later, 100th video. We're living the hive life. Let's talk a little bit about what is it like for a small business to put together what it takes to go show and be a part and present at Hive Life.
Ooh, well, it took the better part of the entire December season. So although I would have loved to do all the Christmassy things that, everybody else on social media does, we usually keep things simple anyway, but in the last couple of years, we've had to keep it more simple because we are prepping for this conference and it takes every bit of workforce we have to get ready for that. And especially this year because we had the hiccup of the truck.
It seemed like there was, Hive Life prep started really almost after Hive Life last year. We start thinking about, okay, here's our booth. Here's what we did. What do we want to kind of put together? Here's all these things that we're trying to put in place for next year. And I mean, just a month before Hive Life, not even just weeks before, I started having this one tooth back here that I kept putting off and putting off and putting off. I had a root canal maybe 10 years ago and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse, where I started getting pain that was going all through my jaw, down into my shoulder, down into my neck, and it was just getting to be so intense. So I finally had to go in and have an emergency tooth pulled. And the problem is they couldn't pull it. They had to cut that rascal out. And if you've ever had a tooth pulled that goes sideways and they have to cut it out, it can be pretty intense. And so if that wasn't bad enough, the pain never stopped.
7 full days of pain. And I finally said, well, you're going in to see what's going on.
After 7 days of it getting worse and worse and worse, I'm taking like 4 Advil and a Tylenol every 2 to 3 hours just to stay not pain free, but it was just to keep it into a manageable situation. And then all of a sudden, all that stopped working. You can just feel something bad wrong festering. And I guess tooth infections and things in your jaw is not something you probably want to let go.
No.
But I went back and they looked, and sure enough, it was the tooth in front of it also had a massive abscess and infection underneath. And then so
if you just brush those rascals, you wouldn't have that problem. No, we have really bad genetics.
Yeah,
I mean, on both sides, I do and he does. So good luck, kids.
Yeah, really.
They won the genetic lottery for bad teeth in a family.
So they pulled that next tooth.
So 2 teeth in the matter of 7 days.
They pulled the next one, and I got some relief from some relief, but then all of a sudden it comes shooting back. Really, I mean, even till the day we were leaving for Hive Life, I would reach, I could feel something catching. It was cutting up my jaw. There was something really like a razor blade stuck inside of my gum. And sure enough, from the last tooth that they pulled, there was a tooth fragment in there. So what does any good, respectable hillbilly, what do? Grab a pair of needle nose pliers and you just pull the rest of it out. And I got that thing out of there. And as soon as I pulled it out of there, it was just like an explosion of pain relief, and pressure just started going away. And I tell you, I've never been so happy driving down the road. So that was a huge thing because, I'm not complaining, and I'm not saying that that's anything worse than what anybody else has to deal with, but that totally takes over your brain. You're not feeling good. You can't eat. You're not sleeping. You're not thinking straight. It affects all of those decision-making processes and all those kind of things. And then my brand new Duramax had a DEF heater and wiring harness go out, which they're prone with. Don't even get me started on modern day trucks and DEF systems.
Where's the wah?
Where's the
I should be on the board.
You should be on the board. It was just it. I'm thankful that it went out when it did, because had we had problems down, halfway there or back, that could have been really bad.
Yeah.
But we had a 36-foot box truck or a 36-foot cargo trailer. We could have loaded all of our wares and things. But when the truck goes down, weeks before, we actually got it in enough time. But then when the truck goes down, now what are you going to do?
Well, you make lemonade from lemons.
You do the best you can.
Yeah, we just had to figure out, what do we do, scramble now to get down there, because we certainly can't cancel now. Although, maybe we should have, maybe we shouldn't have gone. And then you think, well, maybe this is what we're supposed to do, just not go. But then we knew that wasn't right. And so
that's we always dig in. What's interesting is when all this is going wrong, it's how you deal with it in that moment that matters. And when you're surrounded by kids and it's a family life and all these things are going wrong,
they're watching you even if you don't think they are.
It is one of those things where you just have to move past it and stay positive and put together a new plan and then execute. And so while it's not as easy as just getting from point A to point B, you have to get there, whether it's a truck breaking down, whether it's losing one of your out yards to a storm. It's always something, and it's always something. It's how we work through it and what we do about it that makes all the difference. So what I appreciate about it is that the timing of it happened where we had enough time to put a secondary plan in place. We were able to work through it and talk about it as a family. Like, hey, this is not ideal. This is bad news, but we're going to work through it. We're going to do our best, and we're still going to do what we can to get down to Hive Life. And then it ends up costing you another, $2,500 to rent a Penske to get there and back. When you're a small business, that just cuts right off the bottom line. And so that hurts no matter which way you cut it. But that's what it took to get all of our stuff down to Hive Life. I didn't realize how many pallets of things that we had to bring, but we spent about 3 hours in the rain rearranging this truck to try to get all the pallets on, because we had too much to go on. So we shifted and then we moved and we tried this. It was like a bad game of Tetris to get all those pallets on, but we got all of the pallets on. And
in the 12th hour, literally 12 p.m.
I mean, it was afternoon. We got all 12 pallets of product on, and and got down the road.
Because it was a holiday weekend, so we couldn't even pick it up until Tuesday, and we were supposed to leave first thing Wednesday morning. So we did everything we could to get ready over the weekend, but Greg was still not feeling well. And so it was challenging.
That
I mean,
really threw me for a loop.
to say it wasn't challenging those weeks beforehand with him not feeling well, because there's only so much I can do with pallets of things. I'm only 5'3", if you can't tell, even just from here. I'm
there,
short.
now you look taller.
There you go.
There, it's better.
I'll sit up straight. Either way, even if I sit up straight, I'm still 5'3". And so, you know, it's Greg and Jacob are one of our older sons that usually do all the pallet work. And when Dad's not feeling well, you know, he's usually the one navigating the big stuff. So I won't pretend to say that it wasn't challenging. And I was hoping and just praying that you were going to feel better, because if not, I mean, what do you do?
It's farming. You dig in, you do the work. It hurts. It's ugly. It's dirty. It's messy. A lot of farming feels like you are working 10 times as hard as everybody else for a tenth of the income, but we love it. This is where our heart's at. This is what we want to be doing with our life. This is what we feel called to do. So whether it's win, lose, or draw, that's what we do. We just
keep going.
Just keep going forward. That's also a part of the message. The 100th videos. It's slow and steady. The only constant in life is change, and things are all changing so quick, so fast. If anything, we're able to teach our kids, and they're able to see an example of, you just keep moving. Here's what's going on. You just dig through, you work through it, you know. But when you're not feeling good, you know, and things are starting to go wrong, it's costing you money, and you're already stretched financially, to have these products to take to Hive Life, to try to sell. You know, it's a lot. But the takeaways for me is that no matter what it is, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Eventually, you might not see it. Sometimes that light feels like it's the train getting ready to hit you head on. But I think that's just part of it.
It's truly a journey of learning. And if we're doing nothing more than teaching our children how to face adversity with a smile and know that you can walk away, even if you feel like you've lost, you're walking away from it going, we've learned something. Okay. So that's important. So I appreciate that. And that we have those experiences, and we're open and teaching our kids those experiences now, so that maybe when they have to face similar experiences, that they can come out on top too.
It is. It was fun to have the whole family at Hive Life. We had all 7 kids.
Yeah.
Grandma, they had fun cruising around town.
Most of our kids aren't old enough to go into the conference, but half of them were, and you know, a couple of them came and helped.
Yep. And it was just fun knowing everyone was there. The whole team was there, at least in the area,
enjoying.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was so awesome, to just the support by our community, to come stop by, say hi, but also support us financially, is tremendous. You know, that's how we keep all these things moving forward.
Yeah.
And so for us, it was important for us to be able to provide the products that we use and believe in, that are premium products, provide opportunities for folks to have access to those as well. And so we were the only vendor to have a wax dipped premium quality box, which we had the Premier Pura box.
Yeah.
To me, it was awesome to be able to provide something like that, unique, different. That was a premium, high quality product. And it's things that we use, we can speak to, we have experience with.
Yep.
For me, it was awesome to put folks in touch with those things too. You know, there's a lot of different products out there. There's everything from very inexpensive, budget grade, everything, all the way up to premier quality type products. There's something for everybody within that price range, within that quality. Not everybody. Sometimes you need that cheaper, get you by kind of a product, and sometimes you need something on the other end. but that's the cool thing about beekeeping is you get to kind of choose what meets your budget and what meets your expectations for quality too.
And I think it's customization. You get to customize what your beekeeping looks like. Some people will use the more expensive hives and hive bodies, and I mean, because there are some companies that have those more the ones that are plastic and insulated and all that.
And
those are definitely more expensive.
Right.
And then you have a budget grade, pine box, and yeah, that's not as expensive. And if that's what your budget can handle, then start that way. If that's the only way you can start that way. I mean, that's the whole point, is that beekeeping is what you make it. Just like I could speak to homeschooling is what you make it. I could go and buy a $600 curriculum, or I can go to the Dollar Tree and buy some paper and pencils and the library and get free books and still have an amazing, memorable experience with my children.
Right.
So it's what you make of it. And I think if that's what you can afford, you do what is in your budget to afford.
That's and the cool thing about Hive Life is there is something for everybody, no matter what the expectation is, what you need to suit your needs, where your budget is. There's something absolutely for everybody there.
And I think the vendors are trying to bring their best. And so hopefully, you got the best of whatever you bought there, and that you got to see something new or see something you hadn't seen before. And that's important.
Yep. So it's neat when there's so many vendors there. It's not a competition between vendors, but there are so many products, sometimes even the same products, all in the same space that are seemingly competing for the same dollars or the same attendees. But at the end of the day, bringing products that you stand behind, that you believe in, that you use, that you have experience, that you can speak to. When folks do that, I think it's really neat because it's genuine, and folks, we're not just bringing something so we can hawk it, so we can just make a quick buck.
No, and we truly appreciate the people that pre-ordered and came to the booth and bought. And even if you didn't buy anything and you came over and said hi, and that you appreciated the channel or anything, like, subscribe, and watch the channel, that's important too.
The people, we have to be able to sell products to finance the booth, and to make all of that cash flow. But for me, the greatest revenue stream is nothing that's measured and currency capital or capital currency. It's the people.
Yeah. If we didn't have a mortgage and children to feed, we would go to Hive Life and just enjoy
and just capture content.
Yeah, just be with the people.
In that too, for sure.
We would just be with the people, but we have to come as a vendor with a booth because our kids like to eat. So there's that. And the boys seem to have some hollow legs that they're filling. So they are going through a lot of food.
Several of them are going through growth spurts here, and it's like, I don't even know where you can put all that food.
I don't know. They just pack it away. So they're like little chipmunks in the winter, packing it in their cheeks and stuff. Yeah. So no complaints. I love that I have healthy kids that like to eat, but if we could come to Hive Life for just the community aspect and enjoy and not have to be a vendor, I would totally do that too. And, maybe one day we will, but at this point we have 7 children to keep a roof over their head and feed. So we come as vendors, and we truly appreciate your support, and that if you came to the booth and bought something, we absolutely love it. And if you didn't and you still need supplies, package queens, NUCS, or supplies, visit nature'simagefarm.com, and I will be the one that ships it out to you.
Susie's the one that handles all that. That's one of the great things about of us being involved in this hive life. We're living the hive life, because it encompasses every aspect of us, whether it's taking our business to Sevierville to bring what we do here and make those opportunities available for folks, whether it's we are selling our products, our wax dip boxes and frames and bucket feeders and things like that here locally, whether we're shipping those off, we're bringing what we do as a road show to Hive Life, but we're doing it here. We're focused on the people, whether the people are here, whether the people there, whether it's you watching at home. That's what it's about, is keeping this community moving forward. It's an honor to be able to have products that folks want to use, that they need, that brings value to their farms and apiaries, is the coolest thing in the world. And we're just about ready. We're in that season right now of planning for 2023. I haven't caught my breath yet from Hive Life, but it's time to make sure that we are focused on this upcoming season.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think I love the planning part. I'm a gardener and a homeschool mom, so there is, now that the Hive Life conference is over, I'm looking at I already have one conference in my phone calendar for the homeschool basically training workshop. I've been doing it for over a decade, but I still enjoy meeting people and talking, talk and shop talk and those teacher in training days that they call them, in school. So, but seed catalogs are beautiful. Like bee catalogs are the same. You just flip through them and see what what you really want. But it's fun. We're in that planning phase.
There's so a lot of things that we're planning right now is the educational outreaches.
You're booked for conferences already?
We're booked. Yeah, we're if you're interested in having us come speak at your bee club or a conference, shoot us an email at naturesimagefarm@gmail.com. We've got a lot of local things coming up and some distant things, but we have. I'm looking forward. We have later this in the spring. We're going to be speaking to some homeschoolers here at our local library.
Yeah,
which I think is so cool. There will be some bee clubs in the state of Ohio and surrounding states that we'll be traveling to go visit and speak with. We're going to be a featured speaker at the Honey in the Hills conference in West Virginia here coming up in March.
And that is not far from us.
No,
that's actually
not.
Closer than a couple of the major towns in Ohio.
Yeah, we'll drop some links below on the websites. I believe it's honeyinthehills.org. But if I'm wrong on that, I'll make sure we're going to put the links.
I was going to say, I'll look.
Yeah, we'll put the links in the description here. But you talk about an incredible lineup. You've got Dr. Humberto. We've got Paul Kelly, Kent Williams. I'm missing a bunch already because my brain's fried. Beekeeping with Natalee. She'll be there.
Oh, wow.
That's going to be cool.
Local to that?
They're in Missouri, but they're a part of the kids beekeeping education program.
Oh, okay.
So they'll be there too. It's going to be a really good time with just some of the best folks in the country. So we're honored to be a speaker at that conference. I like speaking at bee clubs and conferences because I'm not really interested in saying, here's all the things that we did right and you should do them too. What I'm most interested in is sharing some of our hard lessons learned and the things that we kind of had to learn the hard way. That way we can pass that information along to the next generation of beekeepers or the current generation of beekeepers. So maybe they can avoid those pitfalls.
Yeah.
But then they can make their own mistakes and then pass those on to somebody else. And then when we're operating in that kind of transparency, the next round of beekeepers are those
keep
successors. They just keep doing better and better and better. I think it's fair to say that we are definitely we are living and operating, and we are successful because we're on the shoulders of giants that came before us, and I think it's our duty and it's our calling to do the same thing too. It's not about looking at Greg and Susan or anybody else and saying, wow, they're fantastic, they're great, pat them on the back. It's not about that. What we want to do is be able to have folks just absolutely on fire with not being afraid of making some mistakes, learning some things the hard way, putting that one foot in front of the other. That is what it's about. So if we can share our journey, not only in beekeeping or homesteading, but just in life, to me, I think that has long withstanding. It sets people up to be okay with accepting an outcome that may seem like a loss or it may seem like a failure, but it starts to frame the context and say, hey, we're learning from this. We're gonna share this with our network, with our community. We're all gonna do better. Just like the honeybee is to the hive, we're better together.
That's right.
So that's coming up here in just a couple months in March. So that's going to be absolutely awesome. There's so much more that I want to share with you guys. What's upcoming on some podcasts?
Oh, well, I don't know. I didn't have enough coffee yet this evening.
Well,
I just have to share this, and then it's an hour and 15 minutes in. So then we'll wrap this one up because this went long.
Yeah.
But I just have to share this. It's been a long day. Since we moved out in the Boonsticks, we haven't been to a Costco in almost 8 years, probably 8 years, probably so. Anyhow, we had 4 generations in Costco today, including Greg Burns, which was fighting me tooth and nail because it is a very clustered area of town where this Costco is located. And okay, stop, sit up. And so everybody did fine. Everybody survived. We lived through the experience, and we had grandma, great grandma, mom, and the children. That's 4 generations in the Costco to shop. Now, listen, I don't want to say this because I used to love a Costco, but I tell you what, after shopping at Sam's Club for 8 years, I'm going to say I'm not going to drive an hour to go. I mean, there's a few things I thought, wow, that's cool. I'm glad they had that. I'm not going to go there like once a month or anything crazy.
You know what I think of Costco and Sam's Club or grocery stores in general?
It's a good thing that you don't have to do the grocery shopping or our kids would starve to death.
I'm just not a big fan.
Listen, that's why we're tired, because we had to go and do that. But it was a good experience. We got to see great grandma. We got to see grandma and Jeffy, and we got to see all the people. And so
I like seeing those kind of people, but there's just something about being thrown into Columbus and the traffic and the people and the lack of any kind of decency or courtesy. It's just,
that's why we moved out to the Boonsticks. But
I love people, and I love meeting with people and talking with people.
As long as they're not cutting you off.
But when they're cutting you off and they're honking and they're flicking you off, and I just not a big fan.
Yeah,
not a big fan of any of that kind of thing.
So anyway, we're a little worn out, and we have kept everybody into 9 o'clock hour. So
we do want to make sure that we say a big thank you to Amy Buhner. She sent us a cool question about what exactly does your logo mean? And so we're going to go into detail on exactly all the things that make our logo special to us. And I think it'll make it special for you too. Whether it's on a t-shirt that you might have bought or a coffee mug or a tumbler, or you just see it, you'll know that it has some meaning and what it actually means. So that's going to be a fun upcoming episode as the season unfolds. Right now we are busy getting the next shop planned out, and we have to start building some walls and getting that into a little bit further down
habitable.
The road. Yeah. For us, it's and being a small farm and business, some of these steps take longer than you want, and you have to finance them, and you have to get the cash flow, and you have to do all these things to just put one foot in front of the other. So there's going to be a lot to share on that whole aspect of putting a shop together, a retail shop, to meet folks where they are at, to provide the products, to provide that hands-on training.
It's a place especially for our community. It's a place where we gather, and we meet every other week, and we allow people to come in and experience the learning yard and local homeschool, homegrown donuts and coffee for free.
And I think a popcorn machine.
And I don't know. We'll see if that's in the budget.
I think we need a popcorn machine.
It'd be like Rural King without the Roller King. In the rural, but not the king. And anyway,
hard to compete with Rural King.
I don't know if we can get their popcorn, but anyway, long story short, yes, it takes a lot. It's man hours that we don't necessarily always have to sacrifice, but we are trying to push that needle forward and get that shop done for this spring. The customers and all the pickups and the bees and all the fun stuff. So we're trying to do that. Luckily, it's a blessing to have the shop we already have. So if we have to operate out of that one for a little while this spring, that's okay. And we'll make whatever work. We always do.
We'll make it work.
We always do. We always make the best of what we have. We're a large family in a small home, and we have always made that work. So we'll just make it work, and we're just going to keep going
with what we've got to work with. And
that's right.
Right now, there's so many irons in the fire. We are ramping up for bee season.
Yep.
So we're making all the plans, and we've got right now we're planning for NUCS and packages and queens, and so that is a whole other several conversation episodes on gearing up the equipment to be able to make the splits,
Yep.
gearing up the equipment for all of the queen mating boxes, gearing up for the timing and logistics of the package runs. It seems like when we're in the midst of it, it's finely tuned, but it takes a lot of pre-planning and finances and logistics to get everything in order to do that.
Yeah.
But if you are looking for NUCS packages, or queens, or supplies, you can visit us at naturesimagefarm.com. We're taking orders right now for our Ohio NUCS, our Ohio queens, and also the southern packages that we bring up and deliver. It's a great way for folks to, no matter what your skill set is or what your goal is, packages are absolutely fantastic, and so are NUCS in their own rights for specific purposes. And so we're happy to talk at length, and maybe we'll have a whole episode on kind of the pros and cons of each. But I think there is a lot of opportunities for folks to use packages and NUCS or both to not only grow out their yard to get those bulk bees kind of happening, but it's also a fun way to learn different aspects of beekeeping that maybe you haven't seen before. We're just about sold out. We were almost sold out in June, or we were almost sold out at Hive Life for June queens. We've got about another probably 350 or 400 queens left in that June spot. And then June will be sold out, and we will be moving into July. As we kind of progress, we're going to talk a lot more about how and why it's important for us to raise the queens the way that we do. We could easily run 5,000 to 7,000 queens if we did them in a different context, but that context doesn't fit our goals, our management style, or the type of quality that we want to make sure that we're putting out. So we're raising less queens, but they're higher quality queens, I feel, than if we were to do it a different way. Not to say that the other way is bad, but we've learned a lot from a lot of folks who have done this for so long.
And context is key. Where we are in our climate.
Where we are in our climate, where we are in our growth, and what we want to see from these bees dictates what we do and how we do and why we do. So we're looking forward to maybe talking a little bit more about NUCS and queens and packages as we kind of
drop us a comment if you have an idea for an episode that you'd like to see come out. We'll always look forward to reading all those and catching up with you guys on that, because although we have things that we can talk about, doesn't mean that, that we're not open to suggestions on what you guys are thinking or needing. Questions answered on.
What do you guys want to hear? We're an open book. We have. I don't want to say we've been there, done that, but we've had so many unique and fun learning opportunities and experiences here, throwing so many things against the wall to see what stuck. And here we are now, and this is our focus. And I enjoy every aspect of it. I really do. Whether it's fooling around and doing some backyard foraging, raising chickens, cutting trees and putting them on the sawmill, raising and butchering your own pork. I love living life at its fullest. And that's what a homestead life is.
That's right.
We're living that hive life, and it is we're better together. We're surrounded by community. We're all involved in with what each other does. We want to see everybody do well. I think that's what it means to us. What does living the hive life mean? It means just that we are working, we're collaborating as one big whole, as a community. We want to lift each other up. We want to see each other do well. And I think that's the important thing as we move forward, no matter if you have a YouTube channel, a podcast, a business, a local group, a community. When it's about the people, you can't go wrong. When you put the people first, it just sets everybody up for success.
That's right.
So I think on that, do you have any last final thoughts you want to add before we go?
Not tonight. I just keep making a list for Greg to remember all the things. We touched all of our points for tonight, so that's good. I didn't see any comments come in, so I'm almost wondering if that froze or people were just so enthralled with our conversation that they never commented. I don't know which one it was. Probably our internet. But hopefully you guys got the whole show, and sorry for keeping you on for an hour and 25 minutes to ramble on about thus and such.
Yeah.
But we will be ramping up for next week, which is, more things. Homeschool mom life. I've got meals to plan and freezer meals to cook, and you've got work and more work and more work.
We've got queen mating boxes to get shored up and wax dip. And as we check in, I think what would be cool is we'll just check in with each other and see what we're kind of doing and bring that right here to the podcast, so folks can get an idea on how is it a family of 9 lives on a farm with a beekeeping business. It's going to be a lot of fun to kind of share all those things. I'm looking forward to today is Sunday.
Yep.
The something of some month.
January 15th.
Sunday,
January 15th. Tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day.
Tomorrow we have a fantastic episode. It is the very first in the Hive Life interview series. You do not want to miss it. This is a very special intro episode with Yappy the Bee Man, Steve Jimenez, and Fred Dunn.
Yep.
And it is just super, super cool. So I'm excited to kind of lead off the Hive Life interview series with that episode. It's going to be awesome. Be on the lookout on our TikTok, Instagram, and even our YouTube shorts for Izzy interviews, where Izzy cruises around Hive Life and interviews folks and asks from the perspective of a 13-year-old girl beekeeper.
That's right.
And I'm so proud of her. She's did an awesome job. And so she gets a kick out of the likes and the comments too. So I want to thank you guys for watching, for supporting our farm. It was great seeing you guys at Hive Life. We're looking forward to following you as you live your Hive Life in 2023. Looking forward to sharing as we do the same. And if you're interested in NUCS packages or queens, check us out at nature'simagefarm.com. And if you have a new YouTube channel, you have any comments or you want to shoot us a message, you can find us at nature'simagefarm@gmail.com. And until next time, remember to be the lighthouse
and be the change that you want to see in this world. We'll see you next time.
See ya.